Good evening, everybody. Great to be here tonight on such a beautiful evening. So I hope you've all had a great week, and it's lovely to be back with you tonight to do my latest talk for you on my principles of good health, or principles of good gut health, as I often talk about these days. And don't forget that my lives are uploaded as videos to my YouTube channel. So do go and take a look over there and subscribe to it, because if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you will then get to be notified every time a new video is uploaded, and you'll find ever such a lot of my videos from previous lives I've done over the past year and a bit now. Oh, hi Anne-Marie, hope you're well. Lovely to see you watching tonight. So my YouTube channel is called Peyton Principles, Natural Health. So as I said, go and have a look there. And if anytime you can't watch these live on a Tuesday night, then you will find, you'll find I always save them here so you can catch up with them later on. So tonight I thought I'd talk about some of the favourite herbs and spices, not that I just use in cooking, culinary, but I often recommend in supplements. And in my recent gut cleansing program, my 2-week program that I ran, there were a lot of recipes using some of these herbs and spices. So I just thought I'd talk briefly about why these are so beneficial. And I think we underestimate just how powerful herbs and spices are. These have been around for millennia. Traditionally, these herbs and spices are what we have used in the UK, around the world, in Asian cultures and different cultures around the world. And we think medicines, herbal medicine, this is the traditional things that we have used to take care of our health in many different ways. So some of these have other properties. In fact, a lot of these have lots of other properties. But for the sake of tonight, I am just going to focus on how these support our gut health. So number one is garlic. I put that in the title. And garlic is a fantastic herb to be using. This bulb of garlic, it's very potent. We know the after effects of eating garlic because of the potent oils that it contains. And garlic is great for looking after the health of the microbiome population and trying to keep things in check. And I'll just start by saying that every single day we are swallowing pathogens. Pathogens are attached to our food. Whether we like it or not, we are taking on board different pathogens. And we want to try and keep the environment healthy in terms of keeping good levels of bacteria and trying to keep others at bay. So garlic is a fantastic one for this, as some of the others are as well. So it's antibacterial, it's antiviral, and it's antifungal. So it's a wonderful thing. We often think about candida. It's not something I come across much when I do a lot of stool testing with clients these days. But, we hear about Candida albicans, and yes, indeed, it can become as an overgrowth, and we can get an overgrowth of Candida in the mouth as well as in the gut. So, antifungal, because it is a yeast, so garlic is great at keeping that at bay, as well as being antiviral and antibacterial. So a lot of bacteria, microbiome bacteria, they're not all good for us, and it helps to keep that in check. And garlic is anti-inflammatory too. So use abundantly in your cooking. We don't hold back on using garlic in our cooking at all. But if it's one of those things that you don't love, or you don't love the after effect, you can buy supplements of garlic, and you can get ones that are very good at not having a sort of residual after effect and taste and repercussions. So garlic is definitely my number one. And second on here is turmeric, which was in my heading. Now, turmeric is known, not just in the gut, but across the whole body, as being anti-inflammatory. So we always want to try and keep inflammation in check in the whole body and in the gut. And we do see, again, in stool testing, I do a lot of that these days, and we see markers at bay. And so turmeric is highly anti-inflammatory in the body. It's also anti-tumor formation, so it's great when we're trying to keep cancer at bay as well. And we know it is not it's less common to see inflammatory bowel disease, real inflammatory conditions going on in the bowel because they consume so much turmeric. Now, what I would say is that if you're consuming turmeric in the diet, fantastic. If you're taking it as a supplement, we have to be careful what we choose because it's very, very hard to absorb from the gut and into the bloodstream. And some supplements will combine curcumin. So you've got turmeric, but curcumin is the active ingredient. The curcumin, you'll often find it combined with piperine, black pepper. That's known to be very good to help in the absorption, and so is fat. So if you're going to take a supplement of turmeric, either buy one that is been shown to be well absorbed, and it should be in some sort of fat absorbable form, or take your supplement when you're consuming fats in the meal with some olive oil, maybe with some avocado, with oily fish, for example. So you're going to find turmeric, lots of different supplements, but try and get it in your diet. We love to consume turmeric. And I also add it to some of my smoothies in the morning. I had it today with one of my smoothies. I had a teaspoon or 3/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric together with some avocado and other things. So turmeric, brilliant for the gut. My third one on here is ginger. I think it's known for some people that ginger is great for being anti-nauseous. I think for morning sickness, people have often talked about using ginger, but it's also anti-inflammatory. So get the ginger in your diet. Again, add it to your cooking. I add it to smoothies. Every morning I grate ginger and add it to hot water with lemon. So I actually will, because I grate it into my hot drink, then I am consuming the ginger in that way. So I get a lot of ginger into my diet. The fourth one is cinnamon. Cinnamon has been around for millennia. It's antiviral, it's antibacterial, and it's also anti-inflammatory. And cinnamon can be used in sweet and savory cooking. So look to consume cinnamon wherever you can in your diet. Moroccan dishes will often contain cinnamon. I love to add cinnamon to my porridge as a way to add additional flavour to it. And I love cinnamon, so I don't hold back in the amount. I'm pretty liberal with the amount of cinnamon that I would add to my porridge when I have it. Number 5 on my list, I've got 10 in total. Number 5 on my list is coriander. Coriander, you can use it with the leaf, and also look at consuming coriander seed and grinding it into your dishes. So they have different properties. And whenever we use herbs, and I'm not a trained herbalist, I've got some training in herbs, but I'm not trained as a full herbalist. But herbalists will tell you it's about consuming the whole plant because each part of the plant contains different properties. So with coriander, think about the seed, think about the leaf. Antifungal. So again, going back to that sort of candida approach, it's antifungal, it's anti-inflammatory, and it helps to promote immune function, immune resilience. It also helps with digestive secretions. So, to really support digestive ability, not just looking at what's going on lower down in the gut, looking at really supporting digestion. Number 6 is parsley. And parsley is a great one for stimulating digestion. We often think of parsley as a garnish, as a side, if you go out for a meal, a little bit of garnish, parsley on the side of your meal. Well, I would always eat it, always consume the parsley. Don't leave it, just eat it. And parsley goes well if you're taking garlic, because we know that parsley is really, really good at neutralizing the effects of things like garlic. So those that might have bad breath or think they might have bad breath, then chewing on parsley is a great one for relieving that. It's also an anti-spasmodic. So if you get any sort of griping pains going on in the colon, it can be great to relieve that. And it's also another anti-inflammatory. So add parsley, add lots of chopped parsley to your dishes. And, you know, if you think you suffer from bad breath, you know, maybe at the end of the meal, just chewing on some parsley would be a good thing to do. Number 7 on my list is mint. Mint, I think a lot of people would know peppermint as an antispasmodic. And I know that doctors will often recommend peppermint for people who are suffering some sort of IBS type conditions where they're getting cramping pains in their gut. So consume mint in your diet. It's also an antimicrobial too, so another great thing to be adding to try and keep the microbiome population in check, which is what we need to be thinking about doing all of the time. So add it to your drinks, add it to your food, chew on mint. Great thing to add. Make a nice fresh mint tea. Start growing mint. It grows in abundance in the garden. You've got to really keep it in check because it can take over. So, you know, start growing it now. Make fresh mint tea and consume it that way rather than just buying these cheap peppermint herbal teas. Use the fresh mint from your garden, and it's an easy thing to grow because it will just do it on its own without you needing to take care of it. Number 8 on my list is rosemary. All herbs, all herbs. There's lots of other things I could have added to this list, but all of our herbs are fantastic in so many different ways. But rosemary for the gut, antifungal and antibacterial. You know, you could be using thyme and other herbs along. You know, we know rosemary is one of our bouquet garni herbs, so, and is popular in general cooking. So add it in. Another easy woody herb to grow in the garden and is there all year round. So add it to your roast dinners, add it to lots of other dishes as well. Number 9 on my list is oregano. Now, traditionally, I've recommended oil of oregano a lot traditionally because we know, again, a bit like garlic, it's antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic, so many positive properties. I don't tend to recommend the oil of oregano as much as I used to because I think it's a little bit too potent. And the more I learn about looking after the gut health, we've got to make sure that not only do we try and destroy and kill off an overgrowth of the non-friendly, the pathogenic microbes in the gut, but we need to protect the commensals, the friendly, the good bacteria. And so we don't always want to go in with too strong an approach. So I don't tend to always go in with the strong oil of oreganos anymore. I'm not saying there were cases when you wouldn't use it, but certainly oregano as a herb and using it in your cooking would be a lovely thing to be doing. And number 10 on my list is not a herb or spice as such, but it's a really good plant when I'm thinking about sort of an overall approach to gut health. And it's rocket. And the reason why I've added rocket, yes, it's a lovely salad leaf, but it's a great bitter. And there's other plants that we know as of great bitters, and you can buy bitters as a tincture. And what we mean by bitters is just that. They are bitter tasting food. So they're very, very good at stimulating digestion. And sometimes we need to stimulate our digestive fire. It's sluggish and slow and can cause lots and lots of symptoms. And so the first thing I would think about doing is using digestive bitters. And why not just try rocket? Eating a small little handful bowl of rocket, maybe with a little bit of lemon juice, maybe with a little bit of olive oil, just on its own at the start of a meal to try and stimulate our digestive fire, to get it going well. It starts to promote digestion in the stomach, and that then has a knock-on effect on the digestion in the small intestines, etc. So we want to make sure we've got good digestive ability. And sometimes if we're stressed, eating too quickly, just inherently things can all get a little bit slow and sluggish. So those are my top 10. I could have talked about others, and maybe I'll come back and do another talk on another day. about some of the other herbs and spices that are great things to be including in our diet that really helps the overall gut approach. And so what I've tried to cover here tonight is those that try and keep the balance of the microbes in check, to sort of calm any inflammation that might be going on in the gut, so to support digestion, and those that could be sort of if you had nausea, griping, spasmodic pains. Parsley actually also helps to relieve gas, so if there was bloating, but bloating can be a combination of all the other things we've just talked about. So I hope you found that interesting. As I said, this is going to be saved as a live. It's saved as a video into my group here, but it will be uploaded into my YouTube channel, Peyton Principles Natural Health. So please do go and take a look, like and subscribe to my channel, so you can see lots more of those videos there. If there's any topics you'd like me to talk about, do let me know. Put a comment in here. I will see it. Send me a private comment separately. Message me. I'm always looking for new ideas. What is it that you would like me to talk about and learn more about? And I will be very happy to talk about that. Otherwise, I will be back next Tuesday. I will admit, I have been doing Friday lunchtimes as a sort of nutrition in the news, and I have missed a couple of weeks, and I am about to go away for a few days, so I won't be doing this Friday. I will be back next Tuesday for my regular weekly topic, my Principles of Good Health series, next Tuesday, and from then on I hope to be back doing my Friday at 1 o'clock as well. So thank you for watching. Hope you found that useful and interesting. Do give me some feedback, and also do let me know if there's other topics you'd like me to cover as well. Thanks for your time, and have a great week. Bye.